send players away from the ADU is pretty significant when it comes to accomplishing all of the tasks in front of you here in Onslaught. But Tom, can you tell us a little bit about the defenses as well? Like I think we see some trip mines up already set and ready to go.
Yeah, you can see the horizontal beams. Those are trip mines. As you upgrade them, the colors will change. You'll be able to do more damage and kind of fire off more
trip mines
charges.
Get more charges.
Yep.
And they get more in size. If you upgrade it, you'll go from 1 trip mine to 2, as we see here, which is really nice. Tom can keep going.
And then we've also got the turrets. Know if you could show off a turret in a second.
Oh yeah. Right
those as well. When you can upgrade those three levels as well. They change color. They deal more damage. They get more health.
Yeah.
The fire rate increases actually also.
Yep. And then we've also got Sweepy Bot, who also those decoys. Mostly gain health,
Hello?
change color a little bit.
Smony?
But the idea here is like each of these defensive locations, we're going to kind of randomly pick defenses for you to deploy, and it's up to you kind of to make the best choices and use your limited resources, the scrap that you're collecting, to make the best choices there.
اوكي الحين تسمعون صوت اللعبة؟ صوت الفيديو؟ اوكي انا صوتي عالي ادري بس بحاول اضبط الاعدادات. الحين كيف صوتي الحين؟
So just to make sure, Tom, as well, this isn't the only ADU we're going to be defending in this activity. It moves around the map.
So as Noah said earlier, there's 50 waves in our challenge version of this activity.
Okay.
There's the playlist version, which is just one location. It's easy, quick, fun to hop into. You do 10 waves and you're done. And then there's the challenge version, which we're showing here. So there's 50 waves or 5 sets of 10 waves. Is how we like to talk about it. And with each of those sets of waves, we move around the map between 3 different locations.
Okay, got it.
And so you'll start at one ADU, you'll defend it, you'll take the fight to the witness for a little bit, you'll come back, and then you'll build up defenses more, and then go fight a boss.
Yeah, which is what we're seeing as well right now. Like we're on board a pyramid ship now, right?
Yeah, this is one of my favorite phases, where instead of defending the ADU, we take the fight to them, and as you see, we cultivate a spark of light, and it's time to run it down, destroy the witnesses, lieutenants, and do a fun
بخليه
backflip. Let's
75
hope I can
اوكي الحين
pull that off.
Do the backflip.
It's important. If you don't do the backflip, chat's going to be very upset. I can already tell.
Very.
Here we go.
Look at that.
Here we go. Ooh. You make it look so easy, Noah.
Because I'm just good.
sound good اوكي.
He is good. He's doing pretty well. I'm not going to.
We're also on the first
زين
set of waves.
انا بس
It's gonna get a little
دقيقة
spicier later. The
اضبط
first few waves are-
اضبط شوية وبيكم ها.
They're kind of like the training wheels.
Right, yeah. Because you were saying too, there's a
بس
10
دقائق اعطوني
wave
دقائق
version of
تابعوا
this and a
انتم لمدة
50.
ساعتين لا
There's a
تنسوا.
10-wave version called Onslaught
How you speed?
Playlist.
Okay.
If you're in
Yes.
for you want to be in for a short session, I think that's definitely the place for you. Onslaught, in our experience from playtesting, is really easy to lose track of time and just kind of keep going. You can always be like, just one more wave, a few more sets, and then you're like, dang, it's been an hour. Like it's actually crazy.
Noah, I got a question, if you don't mind. How do you decide whether to unlock new defenses or upgrade the ones you've already got?
So it really is a risk-reward thing. As we're seeing, like when you upgrade defenses, they will exponentially increase in price, which means that you have to make a decision every purchase phase. Like, do I want to save my money to potentially upgrade something down the line, and also hope that that defense, lives long enough to be upgraded, or am I just going to bite the bullet and buy something now that can help me immediately? My strategy usually is that in the first few waves, I will not buy anything to just save up for later, and usually my teammates will do something.
Yeah.
That's where communication comes in. If you just do that by yourself, I don't think your teammates will be very happy with you.
It's fair. As always, keeping the comms crisp is very important, especially as you get those higher difficulty levels. Because we're just in the kind of the fledgling waves of this right now. But yeah, when we were doing our playtest yesterday, things got crazy in a hurry. I hope we get to see some more of the craziness we saw yesterday. But I don't want to spoil anything for chat. Obviously, there's plenty to be discovered in this.
Something I neglected to mention, which we've been doing this whole time, is the ADU batteries will actually heal it, kind of similar to like Forges in the Black Armory from my real vets out there. And the ADU, the enemies are naturally compelled to come over here and like attack it. They'll shoot it, they'll knife at it. But also, if there's any enemies that stay in the radius of the ADU, you'll see it'll turn red and damage will start to tick. So that's when you need to throw your ADU batteries in there and you'll get scrap for that. But if your ADU's full on health, you'll actually get 3 times the amount of scrap. So it's in your best interest to try to keep it as healthy as possible because you might be able to snowball your defenses.
Interesting. So especially if you're really pushing for those later levels and like the 40s and 50s, maybe it just behooves you to hold on. For the
Oh, yeah, and
levels or
50s
so, let your abilities and weapons do the talking for a little bit.
50s are no joke. Oh my God.
There we go. We got one of the bigger mobs on the
So
way.
yeah, here's one of our augments, just demolitionists. We get these huge ultras that come in and just they're beeline for the ADU.
Yeah.
Since we're on the first wave, they're not that difficult, but I promise you, wave 40, wave 50, these guys are tanky. They require a lot of attention.
We'll
And
give you some credit in making it look easy as well.
you know, like I said, you know, I'm just that guy.
He's been preparing for this moment. Also, too, actually, let's talk a little bit of build crafting. What are you running right now, Noah?
So I'm not, I'm not treading new ground here. I'm a Night Stalker by heart. I got my Gerfalcons on. We actually, off screen, we're figuring out how it's pronounced. But Gerfalcons, everyone, so anyone who mispronounces it, that's how you say it. Doing that, I love Buried Bloodline. It's a great weapon from, Warlord's Ruin. I love the Catalyst. And, I'm just doing that because we might see some Tormentor precision when we're doing that because, rockets aren't very effective against
See, over the past day or so, as we've been getting prepared for the stream, I'll admit my jealousy for Buried Bloodline has only been growing. I'm a big fan of Graviton Lance. We get along very well. But I got to say, the precision that you've been getting out of Buried Bloodline makes me upset that I haven't just gone ahead and buckled down and gotten the farming done to get that thing unlocked, honestly.
Yeah, great. So as we see, we are actually in the pyramid again for the boss. We're taking the fight back to the Witness's forces. And this brings up a really interesting part of all of the boss phases where instead of having immune shields or immune phases, we have different augmentations that allow you to increase your effectiveness against the boss. So for example, this one is Augmentation Well. If you stand in these wells and defeat high value targets, you will actually deal increased damage to the boss for the rest of the fight. That's something, because these are meant to be kind of like victory laps, like you've survived against the ADU, it is time to just, you're single-mindedly take down the boss.
Yeah. Interesting. Also, too, actually, really quickly, Tom, so I know we touched on there being 10 and 50 wave versions, but we got a question in chat from Tirkinator. Is it random matchmaking? Do you get to bring your own fire team in? Both?
So playlist is random matchmaking, or you can bring your fire team in.
Yeah.
And then I believe the challenge modes, of which there is a normal version and like a hard version, which goes up to GM. I believe that the normal version is match made. We can correct on socials maybe for the second one. I don't think it's match made, but I think everything supports Fire Team Finder.
Cool. Awesome. Yeah, obviously. And honestly, too, it never hurts to bring in your own GM crew if you're pushing 50 waves.
No, we definitely want you to communicate in that activity on the upper end, especially. You're going to have a much better time.
Yeah, honestly. Also, too, actually, while we're kind of on that subject, I remember something you mentioned earlier was, kind of one of the goals, I think, from a design standpoint you were mentioning was that it's kind of just easy to get lost in this activity. The combat sandbox that Destiny has, sometimes you just want to throw down and just test new builds, go crazy, and this is something that really seems to facilitate that.
You might even feel it on the stream here as we're
back,
going to go
guys.
deeper and deeper here. Like we're on the, we've
ما أقدر
defeated
أخلي
the
full
first
screen.
set
هم
now.
كذي.
We're on the second set. We're at a new defensive location you can see here that's near the river walk in here, and
We're going to break the fourth wall. We're
Midnight
developers,
Cove,
so
huh?
we were able to change it to our other faction. It's not always going to be Fallen. We have the Hive that were shown prominently in our poster art.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, for the more
Nice.
keen eyes at home, they may have noticed that behind the scenes, the faction has changed. So when Jerome mentioned it earlier, every single one of the armies at the Witness's behest is going to go ahead and be a part of this fight potentially. Or which ones are they, rather? Or if you don't mind me asking, I should say, Jerome. This is your.
Yeah, we've got Fallen and Hive are going to be pressing the last city, but the Taken are definitely active elsewhere.
Yeah.
They're sort of the they're being marshaled for other purposes,
Interesting.
which I won't.
Other elements of the
won't mention.
seasonal story are yet to be revealed. We'll let that obviously uncover itself as time
percolate.
goes on naturally. Yeah, there's plenty for the lore hounds out there to go ahead and discover. Jerome, when you're putting together a story like this, obviously kind of helping us realize what the Witness's mission is, like what was kind of some of your inspiration as you kind of looked at this activity and the opportunity it presented to the narrative team?
We always start with the
ما أعرف والله.
like the
ما
emotions
عم
of the
تفتحون
characters,
سيرفرات.
from their perspective, how they would see things, how they would react.
Certainly.
And so that's what made Shaxx a natural fit for this. It's such a gear-focused activity. It's so ferocious. We needed a voice that matched that level of intensity.
Yeah.
And so that's where we
تشتغل السيرفرات.
where we
اوكي.
came up with Shaxx.
Yeah, Shaxx is like the perfect hype man
Honestly.
for this, right?
يعني نبند
It's so
بالستيم
great when you
شغله.
get later in the rounds and he just kind of makes
في
you feel like
update
you
في
keep
شيء؟
going.
I mean, that's his goal, right? The Crucible is not a forgiving place, and he's there bringing folks in every single day that he possibly can. So
He's been preparing us for this. That's what the
Yeah.
Crucible is for.
No, and that's a great way to look at this. The Crucible is preparing, fighting other Guardians to sharpen ourselves to fight a war. And this is just fighting a war.
Yeah, honestly, this is what we've been sharpening ourselves for. This is that moment. Also, too, kind of in that theme, we got a question from Cozy Spartan in chat. Are there any other weapons that are coming back? As a quick reminder, this is the first of actually three streams as well. So next week we're going to be talking about that. So make sure
حلو.
and mark your calendar and
130
tune in
دقيقة.
then.
أوكي. ميجا.
Today, this is just a taste of Onslaught and kind of a first look at what's to come in the brand new activity. Joining us with Destiny 2 Into the Light.
I'm out of money. I'm broke. No.
All out of scrap already?
Yes. I bought one thing. I spent it all on these two turrets, which have been performing pretty well, actually. I'm a person,
تمام،
I
بس
prefer
ما-
to upgrade
بس
a
الماب
few
بلك عليه.
things because their effectiveness
كيف هم
is
معبر مبلى.
much more heightened.
عليكم
when you
السلام،
upgrade.
حي طلال.
I feel like if you all pool your resources to make a few
ما أدري، أنا توني
traps
جيت، أنا
really good,
متأخر
that
شي
might serve you
دقايق
well,
يعني.
but, you know,
بس
who knows? I know when you do
لازم
legendary
تتابعون
and
البث
you're a GM,
لمدة
you're
ساعتين،
really
ها؟
going to need those defenses to help you out because those enemies are powerful and they are focusing down your ADU unrelentingly.
Yeah. All right, so we've touched on there are three different defensive tools at our disposal between the turrets, the trip mines, and obviously the decoy sweep bot. And those are upgradable, if I remember correctly?
Yes.
Correct.
Cool. How far do those go? Like what level could we? Three? Awesome. And as I understand it too, there's a pretty steep progression as they go ahead and continue leveling up. That scrap really
Yeah,
ends up being
رجعوه.
worth it.
They become more expensive, but yeah, they also it's not like a linear progression. It's more logarithmic. They kind of jump up in power.
Yeah.
But you got to keep them safe too, right? The enemies, like you might get an augmentation where like one of those big knights or big fallen captains comes in and just smashes them.
Yeah.
And so you definitely want to try to keep the space clear.
Yeah, a brig drops in from low orbit and
That
just
happens.
smashes it into bits.
Yeah.
It's been known to happen. Who knows?
Now, in that instance, if one of your defenses is destroyed, do you repurchase it at level 1?
Yes. Yeah.
Yes,
you
you have to
lose that.
repurchase the
that-
Oh,
that
wow.
progress.
Yeah.
And that's one thing you have to watch out for with trip mines. Like I said, they have charges, and they will just, they will go out on their own. But that's why they're so cheap. You're going to have to rebuy them once you run out of charges.
Yeah, and also I think I saw a question in chat. I missed the name, so apologies to whoever asked this. Is scrap individual or is it fire team wide?
So we've got an interesting way of doing it. So the fire team earns scrap together, but you each get to spend individually.
Oh.
So you can't mess up your fire team mates by like overspending. You've got your own little stock, your own little wallet,
Yeah.
purse of scrap to spend. So you can coordinate if you want, or you could just spend how you see fit to help the team.
Yeah.
In general, like anything you
هذا
purchase.
الحين هذا الاكتيفيتي
Yeah,
الجديد
as
ها؟
someone too, like in the past, I've played, personally, like a lot of wave-based defense games. There we go. When it comes to the upgrades, I imagine, like you were saying, it's pretty logarithmic. Is there a feeling of wanting to, instead of getting, three level 1 turrets, get one level 3 turret, for example? Like, is that power gain kind of the one you want to be chasing if you're pushing those higher levels?
I think it's definitely valuable to do that as long
Yeah.
as you can keep it safe.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah,
Like,
fair point.
sometimes it might be better to spread out the
That's true.
the damage, but like a lot of that's going to vary, like which augments or which enemies are coming in.
Yeah.
And you're not going to be able to control that. You're just
والله
gonna have to
الكل يبغى
react. Like,
البولس أصلاً.
This might be an easy wave of just some thrall.
Yeah.
But it could
والله
be a
إذا
bunch of
ساعتين بس
exploder
أنا
shanks
أتابعك
too.
الآخر
Yeah.
الله.
We made sure
Tom,
to
who
do
would put
bunch
a bunch of
diversity.
exploder shanks into a wave? Who on earth would possibly be responsible for that?
You can blame Noah. You can blame me for drop pods. You can blame Noah.
I've done a
حاول
lot.
أسلحتك
that-
Everyone
الزق.
who spoke
I
to
did
their therapist
spikes and
about Cabal drop
coil,
pods,
you
to go
know.
ahead and charge that directly to Tom. You can follow him on Twitter right now.
Oh no.
Yeah. Noah, pardon me, Jerome, out of curiosity too, when it comes to kind of the seasonal story and where this fits in. So again, we're digging our heels in, fighting against the Witness, just sharpening ourselves. The next step pretty much is just to go ahead and hold out for as long as we can in preparation for that next battle, I'm assuming?
Absolutely. We're waiting for Crow to essentially build a bridge in concert with Mara, with help from Osiris and others. And so it's really the universe is on Crow's shoulders.
Yeah.
And we couldn't imagine anyone better suited
Yeah.
for the task.
Yeah.
Crow has come a long way in a short amount of time.
Yeah.
And I think he deserves an opportunity to show what he can do.
Yeah.
And I think he'll come through for us.
Still has uttered one of my favorite lines. Yeah, we went ahead and chased him into the astral plane. Well, I just shot at him until he ran away, but your way's better. Like, he's earned his spot. He's ready to go, obviously. All right, Noah, where are we at? What are we looking at right now?
So right now we're looking at one of our waves. Like I was trying to say earlier, we actually have a wide diversity of waves. Like as we've seen with the Hive and the Fallen, that it's not just fighting acolytes and thralls every time. We have different compositions. So this is a wave full of exclusively ogres and cursed thrall. Cursed thrall are nice because it allows you to chunk the ogres if they're grouped up.
Yeah.
But at the same time, they're cursed thralls, and as we see, they are just booking it straight toward the ADU.
These ogres seem very dedicated to their task out of the gate, honestly. It seems like within a millisecond, they're just lighting up anything they can possibly see.
Yeah, I think they're
دقيقة
very
شباب.
dedicated to the Witness, and I think they're also kind of stupid. So they're just doing what they know.
I'm not brave enough to say that to an ogre's face, but I respect you for being able to do so.
So we're seeing another bonus objective here, actually, which is there are going to be pyramid splinters that spawn. That's a great. Now, where are they?
I think there's one up behind you, Noah.
Oh, right here. Look at that. And then if you keep following it, it kind of leads you away from the space, and can't find my distance.
There we go.
We're able to get heavy ammo, which I desperately need because my Berry Bloodline is out of ammo.
That's right, I never heard that.
So there's tension, right? When those splinters lead you away from the ADU, right? You need to kind of have split your attention in two directions.
Yeah, that's the thing that we were really wanting to index on. So for these not critical objectives, for these augments, they kind of incentivize players to leave the ADU and kind of have roles. As we see, we got splinter mines and you have guards that are guarding them. We have Clayton and Ashley doing that for me while I defend the ADU. And that kind of means that you have less people defending. Like the wave is still coming towards you, but there's things you have to do. And those distractions, which aren't really optional, are kind of what gives you that tension and kind of allows for interesting build crafting decisions. Like that's something I kind of wanted to go into, something that excites me as
Yeah.
somebody who's kind of seen how our seasonal meta kind of develops with things like Strand Titan and Solar over and over.
Yeah.
I'm interested in seeing if interesting things come out of Onslaught. You're not trying to stay alive yourself. You're trying to keep this ADU alive, which is a object completely separate from you. So is Stasis going to be more useful? We're seeing Ashley use Arc. She's using Arc Souls, which has proven to be really useful against the Fallen. Is
Yeah.
Risk Runner going to be something people want to use, or Trinity Ghoul, or Sunshot? Oh,
We're gonna forget that happened. That's fine.
yeah.
So also too,
Every man
when,
for
when it
themselves.
comes to the build crafting element, I can probably imagine when you're doing the GM difficulties, it's not just your own build you're worried about, but making sure you have that communication across to your team, across champion mods, across element types. There's probably a whole heck of a lot to actually make sure you're keeping track of throughout this entire activity.
There's a lot going on in the activity from a moment perspective. We have a bunch of different wave types, augments, different squad compositions and different bosses as we're seeing, and augments there. So really build is king. You're still shooting bad guys, using your abilities, using space magic, but it's all a matter of how you use it in each situation. Maybe you want something more offensive when you're fighting a boss,
Yeah.
or bring in that spark and rift. But when you're in the ADU, you might want something that'll help you hunker down.
Actually, too, no, we're on that subject of augments. Something you mentioned yesterday I thought was pretty cool were boss augments as kind of the levels continued to progress.
Yes.
Can you tell us a little bit about those?
So we just did an augment just now that had capture points spawn in the arena. Oh, we have one right here. And what that does is that calls in turrets that will eventually come and help us out. If we call both of them, they'll all activate, and that serves to kind of get some heat off of you.
Yeah.
And just overall kind of help. These are level 3 turrets. You see them in blue. They're looking really nice and spiffy.
Yeah. And again, you were saying at level 3, the fire rate also increases?
Yes,
in
fire rate, health, and damage increases
not
for
bad to
them.
have.
But they cost 6,000 scrap, so you're going to need to save up a lot.
Okay.
I think it's 12,000 scrap altogether for going from level 1.
Can you just roll that leftover Shrieker Eye into some enemies, maybe just for the? Oh, it fell off.
Where'd it
Never
go?
mind. All right.
Don't fall.
Yep. No.
The void calls.
All right, so what level are we on now, out of
was-
curiosity?
we're on wave 20.
Was that 20? Okay, cool. Awesome. Man, this is going well, honestly. Yeah, I will say, especially after yesterday, we learned that Noah is one of the most dangerous to ever wield the 2 thumbsticks out there. To all the PvP streamers as well, go ahead and challenge him openly on the internet.
Hey, I go flawless, you know, check my KD.
Yeah, that's right.
I thought you were the gilded one.
Well, I don't want to brag, but as a 4 times gilded flawless, I mean, I'll let you guys brag for that.
Hey, I'm a brag too. I got Riven's Bane back in Forsaken. Petrol's run, that was tough. You know, all my Riven's Banes out there, we know what's up.
Oh.
And Shadows.
Yeah.
Y'all got it.
There's a chapter of everyone's dream journal dedicated to that particular time in their lives, obviously. Drop the Bungie ID, they're saying. Perhaps I'll leave that up to him. That is his.
Oh, I can do it. No, I'll do it. Check my raid report. Check my dungeon. Hey, I'm there, bro.
Noah is ready, honestly. He's prepared for this moment. Let's see here.
So new ADU, new location.
Yep.
Yes, well, that's something I neglected to mention. So every time you do a boss, you will actually change locations. And let me just buy something real quick because I have money. But the defenses you pick, like that you placed before in your previous locations, those will still be active. So that means that you building up your defenses over time. You obviously can't upgrade these since they're not at the location you're on, but they will help you when the waves get harder. So you having a level 3 turret or level 3 decoy somewhere, that will actually help you out, and you'll be able to take aggro from the waves. Like we see, hey, the turret right there doing damage to the knights. That it all kind of helps that feeling of feeling like you're the vanguard and the last city, like you're helping to defend them. These emplacements are permanent and not just temporary.
Okay. You're really, really digging the trenches and setting yourself in. Okay, again.
Hey,
list
show
of
up.
things that chat didn't see. We get a veto. That's the one that everyone gets to forget. Sorry, chat, but that didn't just happen.
Everyone makes mistakes, man.
Also, too, actually, JR Bizzle in chat asks, are there awards going to be tied to the wave you get to? Now, I know Noah kind of mentioned this a little bit when he was referencing the coil earlier, but you know, obviously there's between the level 10, or probably the 10 wave.
عليكم السلام سمع يعطيك العافية على
What's the
السب.
reward story for each one?
So in all the activities, every time you beat 10 waves and you beat the boss, you'll get a chest.
Okay,
You'll get rewards.
So every 10 waves.
Yep.
You get, okay.
And then in the challenge mode,
شو هي
there's the
الصوت؟
normal and the hard version of those. In the normal version, you'll get a normal chest all the way until the last wave. You can beat the final.
Yeah.
You'll get double rewards.
Oh, okay.
And then if you play the hard mode,
Yeah.
you get additional rewards.
شو بلا صوت؟
Excellent. Okay.
And so like, there's some little surprises there too. We might have along the way that at the end as well, just if you're lucky.
Excellent.
شيء
The ones
تكرار
that
الصوت ولا شيء؟
Going to go ahead and try it a few times out. Maybe there's an additional variable thrown in there from time to time. Excellent. Yeah. Also, too, actually, Kurt Jones, 29, asks, how do revives work in this activity, both between normal and legend?
So that's actually a great question.
في مشكلة في الصوت يا جماعة.
As we see now, there is not. Oh my good lord! Wait, give me a second. Give me a second.
What a great time to think critically. The tormentor on your doorstep.
I can answer that for Noah. Noah, take down the tormentor. The way
Oh,
that revives
my
work is
صدق؟
in
والله؟
the first 2 sets.
Yeah.
Darkness is off, but when we get to the 3rd set, we
Yeah.
turn darkness on.
And
so
extinguish.
if you all go down, or the ADU goes down, the activity.
يعني ما في تكرار
Okay.
بس
You
هو
just think
صدق
what
صح؟
you got for the two
And in
bosses.
legend-
لا لا غرفتي فاضية
You
مرة.
don't lose any rewards. Every set you complete, you'll get rewards.
Yeah.
But if you're halfway through a set and you fail,
Yeah.
Okay.
That's it. Just take your lunchbox and go
أنا
home.
هنقص
well, you
شيء.
can hop right back in the playlist.
That's
hop
true.
right
Okay,
back in with
him?
your friends and
Yeah.
try again.
Which is what I'm gonna do, frankly. Honestly, like when this was getting developed behind the scenes here, and we were kind of getting a sense of what into the
الحين شي صوت
I gotta
أوكي؟
tell you, like just I don't know, the ability to just go ahead and keep diving back in, testing new builds. I'm sure.
إني سماعي للحين ما عدل شيء والله.
Of their loadout slots filled with
أنا تفاجأت إنه في شيء.
really in love with in its own way, and so I feel like this is the exact
غرفتي فاضية فاضية ما فيها شيء
Just
خلاص
even
غطيت كل شيء.
bolstering those loadouts to begin with the Brave Arsenal, which again we'll be talking about next week. Don't you worry. But also too, it's just you get a chance to go ahead and
اسمع
see how they
جيرانكو
can
هذه في الصالة.
just outside of even as difficult as GMs can be, find something that really pushes it beyond that standard level that we're used to.
Yeah, and you're going to need to be ready for a lot. We're trying to throw a lot of variety at you, right? There's combatant factions that
اللي كلهم ينزل
all the
الصالة.
time that can randomly be in there when you start the mission. There's the multiple defensive locations, and there's like the progression of the waves, there's augments. All these things are kind of working together in concert to like test your ability to coordinate as a team and your build game too.
Excellent. Also, too, actually, Optimal Pickle in chat, wonderful name, I might add, is also curious. I know we just talked about scrap gathering, obviously, and how everyone kind of gets their own.
ما شاء الله تسمعونهم.
You
أنا
gift that scrap to other people. You just get
يعني
your
مسوي
own.
عزل صوت يا أخي ما أدري كنت تسمعون أنتم.
Scrap,
Yeah.
but you can both like if someone places something else, you could upgrade it.
Oh, okay.
You can coordinate.
Got it.
Respect.
They can drop to level 2, you can upgrade, or they can drop to level 1, you can upgrade it to level 2.
Yep.
Nice. Very good. All right, that communication is going to be.
Yeah, we wanted to keep it simple and fast. Like we didn't want to have like. We did a lot of work to make sure it was as streamlined as it could be because currency can get complicated if
Sure.
you're not careful about it.
in the heat of battle, honestly, yeah, it's like sweeper
Yeah,
bot,
nobody
whatever.
wants to
Yeah.
open their wallet and be like, you got a 5?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Can you break 3,000 scrap? Is that?
Get shot here.
That's right. Just a little bit. It's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ghost will help you out with that. Let's see.
We're getting up there in the waves, and they're getting a little bit more beefy.
Yeah, you guys are murdering your.
Another thing I really appreciate about Onslaught, other than like the fact you get lost in it, is
Hello.
and just like if you want
Hello.
to do bounties, if you want to do triumphs, you've got
Okay.
things you want to level up, catalysts, like
Oh, man.
just like hop in Onslaught and chill. And
Yeah.
you'll be able to really have like
عندي صوت.
tear through a lot of enemies and
Hear
like
that, hear that, everyone? You can leave the opening gates of Grasp of Avarice, finally.
يعني القط.
Go
Or,
ahead and
or
dive on into
Shirochi, you don't
Onslaught
have
for
to
the rest
farm
of
there
us.
anymore. Don't have to input that wish.
yeah, and in some waves are really like hard, and other waves like if you've got a bunch of guys coming down a hallway and you
Yeah.
unload your supers, unload your
أنت ما؟
ammo, and it feels awesome.
Yeah.
Really like have that peak power fantasy.
Yeah, it's also to no, you're getting some cred in chat for your ability to dispatch champions. I don't know why people are asking about a Bungie dev fighting champions.
ما
I
تسمعوني.
don't know if that's a reference to something,
ريال.
but you'll have to remind us in chat. I don't
يا كيفان يا أخي من فضلك.
Oh, I know what they're talking about. I'm telling you, I'm that guy. I'll drop the Bungie at. I don't care, man. Check me out.
I believe you,
I
honestly.
envy that level of confidence.
Yeah,
I'd be dead.
I hide in the background. I have my name in game is just Andy, and I hide amongst the field of other Andys with all of our.
إيه هاي شاشة
party, honestly.
ال-
Though if you see the one with the dead man's tail, you
العود
know
هذه.
it's me for sure.
Great weapon. One of my favorites, honestly.
It's so good.
So stylish.
It's just like
فاهم
my favorite gun
فاهم.
in any
هاي
game.
ال
It's
شو
really,
أقول
really
لك؟
good. Though then again, we get along pretty darn well. Okay, so we're back on the pyramid ship.
Yes.
Also,
Every 6 waves, actually, you're gonna.
6. Thank
Well,
you.
on the 6th wave of each thing, so 6, 16, 26, 36, etc.
Okay.
You will take the fight to the witness and have a cool little encounter that's, it feels like an action movie.
Yeah.
You and your team get to run down against waves of combatants, in this hallway, and then there's an invincible warden at the end, and the only way to
هذه
distract
أحسن
him
صح.
and move on is you have to dunk in the wrist.
Palette cleanse.
Oh, and he
little,
pushed me.
little breather.
Yeah, absolutely.
All the waves.
Also, too, actually, Jerome, from a lore standpoint, from a mechanic standpoint, obviously this helps, make sure that we're pushing forward the activity and we've got an appropriate challenge. But why are the Guardians able to go ahead and even head back into these pyramid ships to go
It
ahead?
took us a long time to gain that power.
Yeah.
And now it's sort of permeable. It can go both ways, right?
Yeah.
The Witness's forces are much more able to access our space, as we can see right there in
Certainly.
the middle of Midtown. But we are also able to access their space more.
Yeah.
So it's a double-edged sword,
Yeah.
so to speak.
They opened that door. Now they can't take
That's
it back.
right,
The
yeah.
Guardians are going to be in there emoting and meddling and having a grand old time. See? There we go. Let's go ahead and flex your raid emotes. It's all right. Let's get it out of the way. I say that bitterly jealous because I don't have any of them. Took the wave 27 out. All right.
Oh my lord.
Yeah, this is starting to get spicy out here.
All right. Let's lock in, guys.
Sorry, we're just making it more theatrical.
Yeah, we totally aren't trying to. It's super easy.
I just know I'm going to turn a corner and there's going to be the cursed thrall, like, right there. You see it.
Oh. All right.
I got alt tab.
Oh, I'll tab.
All tabbed? Okay. All right.
tab. We'll do
I was about to say.
it.
I was about
Oh,
to
I got
say-
alt tab again.
آه.
Like, as
that
it turns
building
out,
scene
yep,
behind
everyone.
the screen.
Yeah,
Jenna
also,
بالعيد.
we
just
go.
for everyone's awareness, too, we're here live in the dev environment. So what you're seeing is obviously a quick peek behind the scenes. But yeah, we're obviously working off of a dev
انت
environment
يدي
right now.
الاكتيفيتي ما ادري.
Nice.
And doing the finisher appropriately on the thralls.
My favorite is the quick draw gunslinger one.
Yeah.
Hunter, I actually just bought it. I was like, I need it.
The solar one that kind of does like
Yeah.
the twirl around his finger. Oh yeah.
I was like, I need that. So I'll give up anything.
I got it. I think it was it?
Leaked.
Last week where the chair, go ahead and just send him flying at 1,000 miles an hour.
It's hard to beat the
Never
chair.
gets old. Yeah, absolutely never gets old.
Yeah, it's like Ashton Kleiner just carrying me right now. They're going crazy.
I mean, it is their job. to be good.
I mean,
They are
they've been
crushing
doing this
it,
for
yeah.
months. They don't really have the technically the world's first, but
Yeah.
Yeah, we're
That's right. Yeah. In our hearts.
no, it really that's going to be for players, right? We want
Yeah.
all of you to be able to hop in this again. Yeah, this is available for all players.
Yeah.
which is also really exciting. It's kind of like a big gift from all of us here at Bungie to all of you out there, all of our guardians, our community.
Yeah.
So, yes, thank you. We're excited to be able to get you all buffed to take on the witness.
Yeah. Oh. It's not going to be easy. Obviously, just another
Yeah, work.
opportunity to equip everyone.
سوري شباب
Something I
والله
wanted to mention, just
خبص
like,
الاعدادات
curtain when it comes to
اصبروا ان شاء الله كم يوم
friends and
بعد كل
peers,
شيء.
is he used to be the best decoy in the game, like better than all his other tiered variants, because there was a bug where only the broom would take any damage, and as we see, it's really skinny, so he was like basically nigh untouchable.
Functionally immortal sweeper bot.
Oh my god.
Must be nice, obviously, to have your Horcrux or whatever it is, right? But it's just his broom this time, as it would turn out.
We fixed it though.
Yeah, it's fair. All right.
Yeah,
It'll live on, again, another thing that lives on strictly in our hearts.
Yes.
Also, too, out of curiosity, Vadar477 in chat asks, will there be, like, if you have just 2 people on your fire team and you want to go in solo, is there a private mode you can dive into this with?
I believe that you hop in the higher difficulties.
Yeah. Excellent.
Yeah.
Very cool. All right. So everyone out there that wants to really challenge themselves, maybe attempt to solo all 50 waves? I think the theory is, our running theory is that it's impossible.
I think it's not possible. That's my charge to the community. Can you beat Legend solo? Like, obviously that's what solo means, but can you beat Legend solo?
Someone's got to do it.
If my teammate on the social media team, Mitch, is out there watching while on vacation, so don't you dare be working, I think he's got that challenge cut out for himself as well.
Hey, I learned not to underestimate the Destiny community at all. Especially like in Mission Whetstone, I thought it would take a lot longer to go
Yeah.
do that. That was quick.
Yeah.
You know,
I mean, honestly,
Players are good.
underestimate the Guardians, much as the same as the Witness, at our own peril. So obviously, none of us want to do that. If anything, I'm just excited to go ahead and see this get in players' hands on April 9th.
yeah, of course. I'm so excited to see like what strategies to come up with. As we see, we have another augment here where you are killing Spark Hoarders to spawn a Spark, and when you dunk the Rift, it actually does a
Boom,
chunk
pizza.
of damage to the boss. Which, if you're looking at the health bar at the bottom, you'll see it does a decent amount. So when you get to bosses that are a little chunkier, these are ways to do extra damage to you.
Jeez, yeah, okay, not too shabby. I am also, I'll say it again, I'm so bitterly jealous.
انا للحين ما شفت شيء
Like,
يعني
you're
شيء
making it look so
جديد.
good.
I was going to have to carry you.
It's good. It's a good gun, especially if you're on other subclasses. It's just free Devour. Plus the Catalyst, you get Devour and Weaken pretty much on demand by using it.
It's also, too, maybe a small thing, but my personal favorite, just if I had to pick a champion mod, and I know it doesn't work like that, but I do have to give credit to Anti-Barrier, because it's every single barrier. It doesn't matter if it's a Hive Knight shield, doesn't matter if a Taken Vandal goes ahead and puts their shield up, or if a Hobgoblin goes ahead and cloisters up. Like, it's just like, I'm sorry, I'm just going to keep shooting you right in the face. This is not how this works for you.
Okay. No!
طاح الغبي.
We're at a stream veto moments, obviously. No,
that
I'm
didn't
sorry,
happen.
but this
Hey,
shame you
Yusuf.
have to live with.
That didn't happen.
Are you sure you want to hand out your Bungie ID still?
Yeah, I'll do it. I'll do
Okay,
it.
all right.
I don't back down.
I'll leave it to you on Twitter. That's fine.
I'll get cooked. It's fine.
Again, at our own peril, we underestimate. So is this the
غبي
final
طاح.
counter for this particular wave?
Yes, for this particular wave, I think we're on wave 30,
Yes.
which means we're on our last wave, which is
Here we
take
go.
the fight to the boss
So it's
again
definitely a little bit beefier than the last two bosses.
عاد الاكتيفيتي ها.
Relapse.
and
This is-
kill it in
this is
one
more of a
shot.
trial.
Here we go.
شو اخبارك سمعه؟
There we go.
مساك بخير.
So and also too is that dunking mechanic that does like the damage to the boss. That's just is that like a modifier that kind of gets randomly added with each particular boss?
That's one of those augments, yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So there's no guarantee you're going to get that one necessarily.
Nope.
Even better. Excellent. All right.
ولا انا والله ما فهمت شيء.
Guys, let's do the emote. No!
All right, let's keep running more waves. Also, too, actually, I saw a question. pop up.
أحس نفس نظام Raven.
Twitch chat is moving fast, but
يروحون يرجعون
Guardians for joining us.
يكملون يدافعون.
Time
نفس
for
Raven
this
احس.
activity, or do you just get to dive in and take your time?
The only timer is actually present in the purchase phase. We want to keep that fast-paced flow going.
Yeah.
So otherwise, we just have the timer ticking up to see how long your session has
نفس
been.
الاسلحه. اي والله.
Yeah, there's no timer. We're not counting down like
Yeah.
10 minutes to beat a whole wave or something.
The only real fail condition is the fire team alive and is 80 years.
Got it. again, once the ADU is gone, that's it. That's it. Okay. You lose on wave 1 somehow. That's it.
Generally, we want to be pretty clear about our favorite conditions. We want to stack.
Yeah.
A bunch of
ADC.
That's fair. There's like a
الاثنين.
B and a C, nothing like that. Okay. And again, you're only defending its one ADU that kind of will transition.
Only the current ADU. It will move with you.
Got it. Okay, thank you. That's perfect. Also, to chat, I see
طبني بالمايك
information
يوسف.
on the loot to show us what weapons are on the way. Tune in next week. We'll have plenty for you. I can promise you that.
Yeah, Shaxx is, if you go into the lore, Shaxx is working with,
لا قاعد نشوف الستريمينج.
also opening up his
Sorry,
private
the game.
reserve
ادخل على
for
الستريمينج.
our use.
Yeah.
So
So is this something Shaxx has been sitting on for a while, or has he been working on this behind the scenes?
well, there've been some weapons
اول ما
that,
تدخل بتشوف
have been frowned upon in the crew.
اللوبية شغال.
And but now's the time to bring those out.
Yeah.
Anything
Vanguard
that-
outlawing stuff is not something we have time for at this point.
غيروا الاسم.
And if it's dangerous, now's the time to bust it out.
All the better.
You know, high risk, high reward. That's how I see it.
And we, if anything, are facing down our biggest risk in the witness so far, obviously. So making sure that Shaxx goes ahead and opens those coffers, nothing short of generous, I'll say. And do you have improved ability regeneration right now, or are you just that good?
That's what, I feel like you're
Consider
not
that.
hearing me. I'm that guy.
You have mentioned that once or
No one
twice,
plays a
actually. I
lot.
don't know.
Noah maybe plays in a healthy amount of Destiny.
Sometimes I will, not even
I know that
sometimes, oftentimes I get off work and immediately I'm like, okay.
I think there was
That
a
was
on
on
there,
me.
Noah, by the way. I'm not sure if you saw that. That's,
But I immediately get on and play. I do raids and dungeons. I mean, I've been doing a lot of coil recently.
yeah,
My Rosaraga.
My dad and I end up playing this game a lot, and so basically every single day after work, it's just like us texting each other, being like, hey, so when are you hopping on? When are you done with dinner? That's fun. I imagine we'll probably more so do the easy modes, but I've got my Nightfall crew I'm sure I could dive in here with. Although, honestly, I think at this point he's more loot paid, my dad, than any of us, so I think he'd have no problem diving in here.
That's awesome to hear. That's what Destiny is all about, right?
Yeah, it's
Bringing
a lot of
people
fun.
together.
Yeah. All right, that's getting pretty intense. Let's see. Out of curiosity as well, I'm not sure if we can mention this one, but Tom, is there a light level increase with Into the Light, or is this still at 1830? I believe it is.
It is at the current power.
Current power? Cool.
Yep.
All right, that hasn't changed. Thank you, Nikki Knight, for that question as well.
Oh, it's time. I can make
The time.
super. Okay. I don't have enough for that.
ان شاء الله يا سم.
How much scrap you said?
اخذت البري اوردر.
Okay.
I was too late.
Wrapped for cash.
Scrap
I wasn't
for
paying
cash.
attention. You got on the
Narrative
team.
department.
Honestly, that is, I want to say obnoxiously good. It's always like, man,
We appreciate that.
You guys are just stealing our job. Want to write tweets? Yeah. All right. This is remaining intense. And again, we're still fighting the Hive. We were fighting the Fallen earlier.
Oh my, please.
So there will be multiple sets of the Witnesses' armies going ahead and chasing down this activity out here.
Usually it's
I
just
should've
one
super-
per run.
Right, yeah. For the sake of the developer
yep.
tools, went ahead and just swap that over just
Yep.
so folks.
لا يوسف خلي يسار. يسار يسار.
You know it's
عكس
gonna be
عكس.
harder when Noah.
شوف خلي يسار.
I know, right? Yeah.
He's actually
Okay,
having
there's a lot going on, you know?
There is.
Like,
Fairness. And I think
Yeah.
also, too, this is something we sort of touched on yesterday when we were doing our initial playthroughs, but especially when you get these higher
Yeah.
levels and it's not just kind of the proverbial, comparatively speaking, walk in the park that the first few are.
هذا مهم.
Like, you really got to keep your comms
Yeah.
crisp
Yeah.
with your team. You got to make sure that you're really aligning, not even necessarily your champion mods, but maybe sending your scrap to one part to really go ahead and stymie the bad guys there so you can focus your attention, your abilities, your supers on another lane.
بدنا نسمع صوت الموديل حلو.
Obviously, the pyramids have been doing some terraforming, but Tom, when you guys were building this activity, how are you guys going about even changing these maps? It looks like you guys have changed the architecture in some pretty significant ways.
Yeah, so when we looked at these maps,
شنو هذا؟
a bunch of distinct lanes for the enemies to kind of like attack the ADU from, and they give you like these fronts that you have to divide your attention
Yeah.
across the team. So you really have to be like, oh, they're coming from the left, they're coming from the right. You take this
Yeah.
way, I take that way.
Yeah.
And like a lot of times these maps, they're great for PvP.
Yeah.
But they didn't have the lanes we needed, and the artists and the designers working together like, oh, like what if like the pyramids
Yeah.
just like evaporated this building right here.
Yeah.
And
You guys are like, great, let's do it.
yeah, and that's really, so we had to open up some channels in here, and like that, we got the great fictional characters who are getting consequences
Yeah.
forces. It's not,
Yeah.
it's not Todd.
Yeah. Sure. All right, and also too, I'm getting some word from the traveler in the sky. No, I hate to break it to you, but we've come to the end of our gameplay segment. You must return from your throne world.
I think I performed pretty well.
I'll be the first to agree with you, especially because I don't want to have to face you down in this activity. I want your help, honestly. When it
Yeah,
comes
we'll just
down to it.
1v1 in Crucible sometime.
Yeah, and also too is I think we can say that, but this is going to happen. We maybe won't say where, but this isn't the only location that players are going to have a slot available
Right.
to them. Yeah, there will be more than that. Obviously, Noah, welcome back.
محمد.
Well, it's good to see you.
لا
A lot of ties.
ليش؟
You know, I feel like Eris and I are comparable right
So
now.
you're going to turn into a hive? Never mind. I won't want
Turning
that.
into
Turning into a hive god, that's fine. We'll leave that for your
That's
own
the next expansion.
adventures. Obviously, that's true. Yeah, we'll see. But no, Noah, thank you very much for taking us through that.
thanks
And
for having
of
me.
course, for everyone here in Twitch chat, thank you for joining us. But before we go ahead and head on out, we obviously, this is just kind of the first look at what's to come in Destiny 2 Into the Light. Again, as a reminder, we're going to be doing 3 streams showing up all of this content that's going to be coming out, available to all players. And of course, before we go ahead and head off, Tom, you guys have all worked so heavily on this activity. Tom, we'll start with you. When Onslaught releases, when it gets in players' hands on April 9th, what are you most looking forward to?
I really want to see what players do with the defenses. I want to see
Yeah.
what their strategies are. I know Noah's got his strategies. I've got mine. Maybe mine are a little less developed than his. And just to be able to see. Also, it's a great time to get back in and play. It's going to be a great time to play Destiny. It's going to be new activities, tons of rewards. It's going to be fun. I'm going to be hopping in with me and my sons.
Yeah, that's going to be awesome. Yeah. Jerome, as someone who's gone ahead and helped craft this story, to bring this to life, obviously, to make sure it fits into the Destiny universe so well, what are you most looking forward to when this releases on April 9th?
First of all, people getting absolutely hyped out of their minds for the final shape, and I want to see what builds arise out of this.
ليه
It's
للشنب؟
a different strategic calculus
Yeah.
than we've seen before, so I want to see how the players innovate and deal with this new challenge.
Strategic calculus. I'm going to file that one away. That's the narrative team, everyone. Jeez, just making us all look bad. And of course, Noah, you've helped brick by brick put this together, this brand new activity.
Hey, Simon.
Someone who's obviously spent a ton of time playing it in addition to developing it. When it gets out into the wild, when you've got the chance to play it with your friends, what are you most looking forward to?
I'm looking forward to just getting my reps in, seeing how far we can get, especially on Legend. Get extra rewards, have an extra difficulty, just
Yeah.
have fun with friends and trying to see like Jerome was saying, what builds arise, what cool stories come out of playing things like this. Like we saw, you can have a big Tormentor show up and all these different things, those little emergent moments are what really makes Onslaught special at the end of the day.
Yeah.
And I'm really proud of what the team and everyone's done. I'm a very small part of a larger team. Teams are way better than Heroes.
Yeah.
And
You're here.
everyone has done such a great job building Onslaught and just curating stuff Into the Light. I'm so excited for what's going to show up in these next live streams.
Awesome. Yeah, and thank you guys all 3 for being here today to represent the team and help us kind of, show this first glimpse at Into the Light to all the players out there. Obviously, it's pretty great to have you guys here, bright and early in the morning.
Thank you for having us.
Absolutely. Yep. All right, everyone.
هم عندهم الصبح الحين.
That's it from us here at Bungie HQ. As a quick reminder, again, we'll be back next week at the same Bungie time, same Bungie place.
عشان بنفسي الوجه اللي حطه
A brand
سيارة
new
والله.
and an all-new social space as well that you can take your fire team down to, and even more information about upcoming rewards. Before we obviously set it off, I want to again thank our guests here for joining us today, to the entire Destiny development team who behind the scenes right now is working on this content, bringing it to life for all of us. Thank you all so much for your hard work. To Clayton and Ashley, our plate testers in the back who went ahead and helped fill out the fire team. Getting some waves. There we go. Thank you very much. To the amazing team of producers who are here putting on the show, thank you all so much. Genuinely, it's amazing to have all of your assistants. They have the distinct difficulty of making me look good on camera, so believe me, their work is cut out for them. And to our team of moderators in chat, you're the real heroes. Thank you so much for your time. But in the meantime, again, reminder, we'll be back next week at the same time and place to show you even more content. But until then, take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and we'll see you all Starside.
شو الشعار؟ شو شعار النمر؟ Into the right. خلاص. ولو ساعتين. كيف اتاكد؟ يعني الناس يكتبون وات تايم. كيف؟ whatever we want or not. يا اخي ما اعرف ليش الناس يحبون هالكلام هذا. دش على دروب. لا ما كملت. يعني البث اللي جاي هذا بخلصه، البث اللي بعده هذا. اوكي. صح؟ عليكم السلام. عليكم السلام. خلص البث. مساء النور. حي عمر. خير الله يسلم. شغال شغال دائما. صوتي بعيد وايد. يوسف يضبط الصوت. بلعب ديستني بس بدون صوت. ها الحين قاعد يضبط الاعدادات يوسف. سيليكون بمماديك لما لا نهاية. اي والله. شو صار عليه بالندوه؟ ايه خلص البث. ما شاء الله صوتك 4K الحين احسن. أم... يا اخي لمسات يوسف حبيبي، انت تبى تعدل شيء يوسف موجود راح يضبطك. يا قلبي. انا شو اسوي بدون يوسف يا جماعه؟ والله اضيع. اي جوزيف ان ذا هاوس اخوي. والله قاعد يسوي شغلات، يبند يشغل يسوي ما ادري انا ما ادري ايش السالفه والله. والله العظيم اضيع بدون يوسف. أوه. يلا يلا يا ربي. انا الحين ما اعرف كيف اودي الصوت لهناك يوسف، من الجيمنج بي سي للستريمينج، مش عارف كيف. وعليكم السلام. يوسف فكر قال ليش جاي. لا هذا الكام. لا هذا الكام يوسف اللي تحت ايه. شو اخبارك يا فارس؟ العب بدون صوت. Help me. I'm dying. Yeah. خذ. وين الديسكورد يقول لك يسوف؟ وير از ديسكورد؟ ما نزلت اظني. نزل ديسكورد اذا تبي. ترى سويت فورمات. لحظه خلينا نفتح الانثيكيتر. لحظه. انثيكيتر 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 9 4 5 1. يا سلام يا سلام يا دوزيف، يا سلام يا دوزيف. اوه اوه شكلهم عدلوا الجلتش. ترى ما قاعد اقرا الشات لان هو قاعد يضبط الاعدادات. اوه يا سلام يا سلام. عليك الاوفرلود. والله انك سبيد وحش الليل. آه. ترارارارا. شباب ليش ما تسوي لي فولو في انستغرام؟ بعب عليكم يا اخي، نبغى تفاعل في انستغرام. الحين قاعد اشد حيلي شوي في انستغرام. وبعدين بعد ان شاء الله بعد كم يوم عندي تغطيه في شو توني جبت تروفي ما ادري شو. ما يستاهل العدد. خيبه خيبه. ليش زين الحين اظني ممكن اسبوعين شكله انفصل السلك على 2 بعد. شو السالفه ليش؟ السري انفصل شو؟ اه تتصل بي والله ما سمعتك. بدأت تتصل بي. لا لا اتصل لي على التليفون الثاني يوسف. التليفون هذاك ما في شارج. لا يوسف. س... كيف يعني؟ اتش دي ام اي ما ينفع. المفروض يكون 4K اللي هو مو ما اسمه شيء لا. الجيمنج بي سي مش موصل صح يعني. ايه نفس السوني. لا اقول لك بيت ربيعي سويت له ضبط عنده. اوكي اوكي رمزي حياك. اقول لك ضبط عند ربيعي لا ادخل ال 4K. برنامج ال 4K مال جاتو. هني في شيء لازم نعدله. لا لا مو بهذا. لا ولا هذا. لا خله شو اسمه. شاشة اللعبة. الديفايس ايوه هذا المفروض اللعبة هني تطلع في 4K ليش ما قاعد يطلع؟ اه لا اضغط لايف اضغط لايف. اضغط لايف. لا اضغط على لايف. تحت في وين عند الرقم في لايف اضغط عليه. زين الحين وين اسرع ميدالية شو اسمه؟ الدنجن قصدي لو سيكتر. فيد وروح دنجن فيز مال جراسب اوكي. زين الحين انتم انصحوني شو اسوي عشان ابدا صح. لان هالاسبوع اخر اسبوع حق الموضوع صح. فابى افتك منه. لان بعدين عندي دراج الدقمه مستحيل اشغل اللعبه. يعني شوف هني. هذا كام. زين هذا شوفوا سوبرمسي سكور. هو هذا عندي بلاتينوم 15. وهذا بانك ميدالين ات ذا بوديوم ذا تاور. هذا شو؟ يوسف تباني اجرب شو اسمه انه اوت بالاي يو اكس. اوكي دقيقه. كروسبل بجيك، ابي اضحك، ابي العب كروسبل. اوكي دقيقه بس دقيقه. اوكي حطيت. أم... اوكي خليني اخلص هذا مال السكور، اذا حد بيدخل معنا ثالث. لازم اجيب السكور 4. عليكم السلام. اجيك حياك. مو من يوسف، مو من شو اسمه، من الاوديو مال مال البي سي نفسه. الاوديو مال البي سي نفسه. ما يشتغل صح؟ مو مبين. يا اخي لحظه.
تميم الحب تسمعني؟
اوكي انا كنت مركب غلط، جرب الحين. مسوي فورمات خاطري، لا قاعد يضبط لي يوسف. عاده. والله شي بضطر اني اركب الدو اكس ال ار يا اخي. لا لا مو باليوم مركبه يعني، بس اقول لك يعني احس شيء هذا حل الوحيد للحين. لا تنسون يا ابو بنادل الجديده ها. اقدر اكلمك ديسكورد اوكي. ما مشكله اسوي ريستارت سريع شباب يتريون. باندل ريستارت سريع شباب ها. ريستارت سريع ريستارت سريع.